y'all. I'm back. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or just welcome if you're new. My name is Eboni Harris. I'm a serial entrepreneur based in Houston, Texas. Hey y'all. I'm back. Today we are going to make sure that we start off the new year correctly. We're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk about accountability, and we're going to talk about some things that I'm starting in 2025 in hopes to build a community of like-minded people who also just want to achieve their goals and to have accountability partners and to be able to get to where we're trying to get to in 2025, whether that's professionally, personally, whatever it is. My channel is all about healing, growing, and loving. And so we want to do what we can to get us there. So that is what we're talking about today. So I want to start this off with just talking about what works for me when it comes to goal setting and hitting the goals that I have. Typically, I don't do resolutions at the beginning of the year. I have a video about that where I talk about why I don't do resolutions, but that doesn't mean I don't have goals. It doesn't mean I don't have things that I want to accomplish throughout the year or just in life. And I do think the new year is a good time to reset. So the way that I do this is a few different ways. I do like doing vision boards. I love having a word of the year, as well as just writing goals down. This year, I actually set up a bingo card because I thought that would be a fun way just to write down my goals and just to have them there and to really try to get them, because with my bingo card, I actually have prizes that I get to have once I complete a normal bingo, 4 corners, X, or blackout. And they are pretty good prizes. I'm really excited about a lot of them. So that is really motivating me to get this stuff done. When it comes to setting goals, though, a big struggle I have is I have ADHD. I have a hard time with keeping up with all of the thoughts that are in my head. And so because of that, lists are my go-to. I have notebooks, I have apps, I have a whiteboard, I have all these different ways that I write down my list, but I try to make it consistent in what I do. Okay, so how do all of these systems work together? Because one of the worst things about ADD is that we tend to put things everywhere and then we can't find it. But I created a system. So when I'm out and about or just thinking about what I need to do in life or within the next week or whatever, I will put those notes in my phone because it's with me all the time. And I have a notes app. So I have a to-do list of just random things that need to get done. At the beginning of the week, typically on a Sunday or a Monday, I will use this notebook to write down the list of things I want to get done that week. So oftentimes it's like a page or two of things because I overcommit and I think I could do everything, right? So I make a full list of everything I want to get done that week based on what I've written down, based on what I typically do within the week, because there are a lot of activities that I do consistently over and over again. So everything I'm going to do that week or I want to do that week then goes into this notebook. So then I have to figure out, how do I prioritize these things and how do I make sure they all get done? Or is it even realistic for them all to get done? So what I do is I make 3 columns. One is for today, one is for this week, and one is for upcoming. So my today list, I pick out the top 4 or 5 things that need to get done. I try not to do more than 5 because I'm a person that will write down 10 things and know that they won't get done. So I write down 4 or 5 things that need to get done today, and I write it on the list. Then I might pull 10 things from that longer list and put it on, this is what needs to get done this week, right? There's other things on the list that could get done this week, but these things need to get done this week. And then I have what's coming up. What is on the upcoming list? These are the things that I know I need to keep at top of mind, that maybe I'm not working on it right now, but I know eventually I need to get there. And so if I have free time, let's say I finish my 4 to 5 things, or I finish my list for the week, then I can start adding those things to it because I know they're going to come up. Okay. So that's how I categorize it. It's easy for me. It works for me. Let me know how you categorize your list, right? Because I sometimes will just have a list and try to get through it. But when I have a little bit more clarity on like what needs to happen today, what can happen this week, and what can I kind of push off if I don't get to it, it'll be okay. When I have that set up, it makes it a little bit easier for me to know how to schedule my day to make sure things are getting done. So lists are what work for me. So if you're new to lists, start small. Like, don't feel like you need to like have this extensive system of how you do your list. Just start writing the stuff down, right? Because that was the first step for me, is like, I'm not going to remember all of this stuff. Let me write it down so that I can have it with me when needed, or I know where to look. If I'm like, what do I need to do today? What needs to get done? What did I forget? I know where I can look. There is science behind just writing things down, integrates it into your brain differently. And you may not even have to go back and look at it, because for some reason, when we write it down, especially handwritten, then our brain remembers like, oh yeah, I do have that thing to do. But if your brain is anything like mine, it doesn't always work that way. So it's good to have that to reference and to make sure that we're getting things done. By starting small, I mean, just write down 2 or 3 things every single day that you need to get done, right? You already have a lot of other things I'm sure you're doing, but what are 2 or 3 things that you want to make sure you get done today? Cross it off and celebrate the fact that you've done it, right? So just start small. I also have learned that having someone to hold me accountable doubles the chances of me hitting my goals. It really does make it more likely that I'm going to get the things done that I need to get done. So whether that's just having someone check in with me and say like, hey, how's this going? Did you complete this? What are you working on? Things like that. Or actually having someone and we do a work day together, that extra layer of accountability really pushes me toward my goals a lot quicker. That's part of the reason why I have decided for 2025, I want to do a weekly accountability group. I have been wanting to do this for a while. And in reality, I have built a small community over here on YouTube. I have built a community of people that are interested in what I have to say as a therapist, but also they have their own goals and things that they want to work on. So because of that, I'm going to do it on YouTube and IG in the morning on Mondays. We'll write down our list of goals that we have for the week. We'll categorize them into what we need to get done today, what needs to get done this week. And then we'll also do a follow-up on Thursday. The reason why I chose Thursday is one, I don't like to work on Fridays. In reality, I have work to do, but I don't like to have a high pressure day on Fridays. So my goal is to try to get as much done by Thursday that I can. And I think if we check in on Thursdays and see how far we've gotten in those first 3 days, then it helps us understand, okay, we only have 1 or 2 more days, depending on what your work schedule is, to get these other things done. How can I prioritize these so that my Thursday and Friday are productive so I can get this stuff done, right? I think sometimes what happens is we'll check in on Monday and check in on Friday or Saturday, and it'll be like, oh, well, I really didn't get nothing done. But if we kind of put a check in there in the middle, then you could say, yes, I've done this, I've done that. This is where I've succeeded, but this is where I'm also struggling. And so I need to figure out a way to get these things done. And if we have people that come consistently, then we can also help each other in getting past whatever may be stopping us from reaching our goals. So if you are interested, it's not a sign up link. It's not anything like that. I will be here. Just make sure you subscribe and that you have the notification bell on, because I'll be going live every Monday and Thursday around goals setting. What are we doing for the week, and checking in with each other to make sure that we're getting stuff done. So if you want to join, follow, subscribe, and make sure that you have your notifications set so you can know whenever I'm going live with this. Okay. So I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be Mondays between 9 and 10 a.m. and sometime between 9 and 10 a.m. on Thursdays is when we'll go live. Hopefully you can join. If not, you should be able to find a repeat or rewatch it later on and let us know in the comments what your goals are. We're going to get started January 27th. Again, you don't have to sign up for this. You just show up. We go through our goals together. We talk about what we're going to get done. We categorize them, how we need to categorize them, what's priority, what needs to be done today, what could get done later this week, and what can we have for upcoming. And then we get to it throughout the week and we check in with each other. So I hope you can join me. Again, subscribe, follow, turn on notifications so that you can know exactly when this is happening, and you can join us for this, and we can create like a little community of people that are just goal getters and that are really focused on like getting things done. So let's talk about how to be successful at goal setting. First off, as I stated, I write it down. Write down everything you need to do. Make sure it's written somewhere. Preferably somewhere that you check often. Preferably you have some type of a system in place. But even if you don't, just write it down and have it around so that you can check in every so often to see have you met those goals. Then you want to break those goals down, right? So if your goal is to start a business, you don't want to have something so big and broad. You can start that, right, when you write your list, but then you want to break that down. What does that mean? Come up with a business name. File for an LLC. Make sure that I have a way for people to pay me, whatever the case may be. Like, write down what exactly those steps will be for you to have a business, right? Write the goals down and then break it down into actionable steps that you can actually do to get to the goal. And then get some accountability, a friend, strangers, a group, a coach, whatever it is, get some accountability so that you can make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do or what you're saying you're going to do. So if you feel like 2025 is going to be your year, or even if you're not so sure if 2025 is going to be your year, come to the weekly accountability groups. Let's do what we need to do to meet our goals, and let's do it together. If you have any questions, put it in the comments, and I will see y'all at the first accountability group starting January 27th. Even if it's past that date, we'll be there every Monday. I want you to remember that you don't have to do it alone. With a plan, some accountability, and maybe even a little bit of wine, we can make 2025 a great year. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all the things, and I'll see y'all next time. That's all. Bye.